We've been talking a lot recently about things that are happening in the world of football, right? We've been talking about great players doing great things. We've been talking about controversies. We've been talking about random good results and clubs that are doing well and clubs that aren't doing well. Basically just, some serious, hardcore, hard-hitting journalism. Yeah, not really. But what we haven't done in just a little while is talked about maybe my favorite topic: pure, unfiltered, unpasteurized stupidity, tomfoolery, nonsense. And today, I bring you a dose of all of that stupidity, tomfoolery, and nonsense. Okay, and I have to thank somebody on Twitter for tagging me in this. I believe the actual person was Aaron, said, if you need info, Zealand, you know where to find me, and then literally attached the highlights of this as well. So very, very big shout out to them. That is how I find the vast majority of this particularly obscure tomfoolery, the particularly obscure, stupid things that happen around in the world of football. But first, a word of warning. While you're watching this video, it is very likely that I will be running 16 miles as part of my marathon preparation. This is going to be extremely painful. And so if while you are watching this, you could send out some sort of mental blast of energy, right, to me, because I'm still probably running. It's going to take me about 3 days to actually finish that entire run. So just help me out. You bullied me into doing this. You bullied me into running in the first place. Now I'm finally running, and I could use the help. But to the stupidity that's actually going on here. So we've always had a dream. You've always had a dream. Anybody ever watching football or soccer on TV has had a dream. Because the dark arts, they're much debated, right? The idea of time wasting, laying down on the ground, trying to waste as much time as possible, trying to do whatever you can around the edges of the game to waste time. That has become, it feels like, more and more prevalent. It's become an art form. I mean, all you had to do is watch Argentina anytime they had the lead in any competition over the last 5 years to understand exactly what I'm talking about. Every little thing you can possibly do to gain an advantage. And I don't blame them for that. The whole point of the sport is to actually be able to win the match. And anything that you can do in order to actually win the match, screw honor, right? Screw anybody's perception of honor. Win the game. Win the damn game. Everybody gets paid because you win, right? Everybody celebrates in the street, not because you lost with honor, but because you won the fucking game. So I don't blame teams for doing this. But if you are the team that is playing against, say, an Argentina that's in peak form, if you're the team that is playing against somebody that is employing these dark arts, you have these fantasies about how you would like to deal with this. How somebody who is rolling around, laying on the ground, obviously uninjured, and yet wasting everybody's time and having to get stretchered off in the whole 9 yards, about how you would actually deal with that situation should there be perhaps no repercussions. Things that you would do, things that you could do in order to try and survive that situation with just a modicum of sanity, with literally just any amount of sanity remaining. Well, one of those deep, dark desires, one of those intrusive thoughts actually struck in the Hungarian League. And this is in a match between Újpest and Győr. And in order to understand why this is happening, you have to understand the Hungarian League, which I do, obviously, but you might not. Újpest is a team that is competing for European places. It is a team that is competing to be somewhere around the top of the league. If they actually won the league, it would be a huge surprise. But they are, as somebody that is managed in Hungary on Football Manager, a team that is a regular sight in the top flight, that is expecting itself to be able to compete, right? And then you have Győr, a team that is not that, a team that is at the point of this match being played in dead last place, right, on 4 points. And so they are definitely a team that is excited about the fact that a draw might be in the works here. Right, because it is the 89th minute, and it is 0-0, and they're at Újpest, and a draw would be a very good result for Győr in this situation. And that's when our first knight in shining armor here goes down. We've got one guy who's shaking his head. We've got this guy who's now on his ass, and he is smiling, right? I mean, this is the sort of thing, right, that draws the ire. Right? This is the sort of thing that makes the blood boil. This guy is on his butt on the field, wasting time, and he's smiling at you. wasting your time. Ujpest, this is the sort of match at home that you got to be getting 3 points in, and they know it. Then you're watching this guy sitting on the ground. He's just smiling. And then he starts to stand. Oh, my God. My leg. Oh, he was just smiling. He starts to stand up, and then he goes, you almost see the wheels turning. Right? You can see the wheels turning. Oh, man. You know what? I actually am hurt. Why am I getting up right now? There's no reason for me to be getting up right now. I'm hurt. Why would I possibly be standing up? And then, that's when somebody arrives with perhaps their own solution. We've got our guy on the ground now, right? He's not moving. He's got arms across his forehead. And in this wonderful highlight package put together by M4 Sport, subscribe, by the way, for your favorite, best Hungarian content. Hell yeah, brother. Somebody shows up, shall we say, a knight in shining armor, the Dark Knight, Batman himself, and just picks him up and carries him off the field. I mean, literally picks him up and carries him off the field. Mamadou Karamoko, a player for Ujpest, walks over to the guy, picks him up, and then just carries him off the field. Beautiful. This brings a tear to my eye. This is sporting justice. Not only are you solving the problem, not only are you getting the match back in motion, right? But you are also just big brothering this dude that was on the ground, right? You're just like, all right, come on, yoink, and just lifts him up, just heave-hose him off the field. And I mean, at this point, they've already wasted a minute. Look, we're almost to the 91st minute of play at the time that Karamoko, sorry, I forgot his name. Mamadou Karamoko, almost said Karamoko Dembele, if you remember him. By the time he's actually carrying him off the field, they've already wasted an entire minute. And the best part of this whole thing is right at the end, honestly, because he carries him off the field and he sets him down. And instead of setting him down, laying down, I love the Shakespearean kind of woe is me, looks like Caesar in one of those paintings where he's getting stabbed and he's, instead of freaking out like somebody that's actually being stabbed, he's just going, oh, et tu, Brute. You're just like, okay. He sets him down, but stands him up. And then you see the guy afterwards, he's like smiling and laughing. Come on. He just acknowledges that was hilarious. That's it. You didn't have to make this overly serious. He didn't have to turn this into a pissing contest. You didn't have to turn this into a I'm flexing on you. Like, this is the trump card. This is the Uno reverse. You didn't see this coming. The hero in the cape here, right? Mamadou Karamoko just doing what nobody thought he would actually do and picking the guy up and carrying him off the field. And the guy's so surprised and so chilled about it. He's just like, whatever, fair enough. And he just hobbles back to the fourth official, to come back on the field. And the best part, well, I already said the best part. The other best part about this, no cards. The referee just let it happen. Obviously, if this turns into some sort of giant brawl, if the guy he's carrying him off the field doesn't like being treated that way, whatever, and decides to start going chest to chest and face to face, then maybe you hand out a pair of yellow cards just to maintain control of the game. But if all of this happens amicably, the referee does what the referee is supposed to do, which is stay out of the way of the game unless the game needs controlling. It's actually brilliant. I think it's brilliant refereeing, unless there's something in the code of the game that says you can't pick up a willing opponent, but obviously if they're running with the ball, you probably can't do that, but there was really nothing against this. He helped get the game back in motion. It clearly wasn't a significant problem. The guy was sitting on the ground laughing about it. That's how we started all of this. That's how all of this happened. And now all I want is a Mamadou Karamoko jersey. I want a poster. I mean, you can see in this image, even Mamadou Karamoko knows how ridiculous this is. He's looking at the linesman saying, come on, you're not going to card me for this, right? This is preposterous. This is absurd. They were both laughing about it, right? And maybe if you're a fan of Ujpest, you're hoping your team's a little more focused, or if you're but who cares? I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a bunch of guys between the lines playing a game. One guy was playing he was playing a particular game. He was playing Voldemort's game. He was employing the dark arts. And then this, the other guy found the counter spell. He just gotcha. Expecto Patron, get your ass off the field. I'm assuming that's the traditional Latin. I actually don't know. I've never been to Hogwarts. Apparently, Mamadou Karamoko has, and that's why he knew exactly how to handle these sorts of dark arts in this particular situation. This should be taught in every defense against the dark arts class that's ever existed. because this is the solution. Problem is, if you tried to do this to somebody on Argentina, every single player on Argentina would run up to you like they were about to punch you. And then once you get near them, they would then fall over and you'd have to pick up the entire team and carry them off the field. At which point you just have Emi Martinez trying to hump a trophy in the background and it would get a little chaotic. Right. But I would love to see that. I would love to see somebody try that. Like maybe Peru can try to employ this the next time they're in a World Cup qualifying match with Argentina. I don't know. But this was funny and it was awesome. And it's a great way to handle this, this flood of the dark arts. Really, it is.